quiet truth has been hiding in plain sight, overlooked by most and misunderstood by nearly everyone. It challenges the way we think about the body, time, and what it truly means to grow older. For generations, people accepted aging as a slow decline, as if losing strength, mobility, and vitality was the natural order of life. But a very different story is beginning to unfold, one supported by ancient wisdom and confirmed by modern science. A story that reveals how the human body is designed to regenerate, to rejuvenate, and to stay powerful far longer than we've been told. This truth begins with the understanding that aging is not a punishment. It is a process, one we can influence, shape, and even reverse. The body is not a fragile machine destined to break down. It is a living organism capable of rebuilding itself at every moment. The key lies in activating the dormant systems that control resilience, vitality, and youthful functionality. And there are 5 movements, simple, accessible, deeply human, capable of reawakening that power. Before diving into them, there's something important to understand. These movements are not random exercises, and they are not modern inventions. They come from a lineage of knowledge as old as civilization itself. Passed down through sages, healers, and philosophers, they were once considered sacred tools for maintaining the strength of both body and spirit. Today, science has begun to confirm what the ancients knew, that the way we move shapes the way we age. The first movement reconnects you with a forgotten ability the human body once relied on for survival. It starts with suspending your weight, allowing gravity to stretch and decompress your entire structure. In a world that forces us into chairs, screens, and unnatural postures, this movement restores what time and lifestyle have compressed. The shoulders open, the spine elongates, and circulation improves almost instantly. But its most powerful effect comes from something most people never think about: grip strength. Grip strength, once taken for granted, is now recognized as one of the strongest indicators of longevity. Research tracking thousands of people found that weaker grip strength was consistently linked with dramatically higher mortality rates because it reflects the overall condition of the nervous system, muscles, and heart. Strengthening the hands and forearms sends a signal throughout the entire body, a signal of resilience, capability, and vitality. This simple act of hanging from a bar triggers a chain reaction of positive changes that touch every system in your body. But this is only the beginning. Once the upper body has been opened, aligned, and awakened, the next movement brings you downward, closer to the earth, closer to the body's natural foundation. It is the deep squat, a position humans used for thousands of years but lost in the modern world. Chairs replaced natural movement, and our bodies have been paying the price ever since. The deep squat reconnects you to your original blueprint. It restores ankle mobility, releases tension in the hips, strengthens the pelvic floor, and brings your posture back into balance. More importantly, it reverses one of the most dangerous patterns of aging, the gradual loss of independence. A study widely discussed in the medical community revealed that the ability or inability to lower yourself and rise up from the floor without support is one of the strongest predictors of early death. It reflects the health of the muscles, joints, cardiovascular system, and even balance. Reclaiming the deep squat is reclaiming control over your own body. It is reclaiming the freedom to move without fear. From here, the journey rises, literally. The third movement is the transition from the ground to standing without using the hands. This is a movement many people lose without noticing until it becomes a crisis. The day someone can't get up from the ground independently is often the day they begin relying on others. But this movement is more than a functional skill. It is a declaration. Each time you stand up using only your body's power, you reinforce your autonomy. You strengthen the connection between your muscles, your balance, and your intention. You affirm, again and again, that the body remains responsive to your will. People who practice this movement consistently report a powerful emotional effect, the feeling of reclaiming something they thought was gone. A return of confidence, a return of dignity, a return of self-reliance. Once the body remembers how to rise with strength, the next step is to protect that strength through the freedom of the hips. The hips are the engine of human movement, the center of power, the heart of stability. When the hips stiffen, everything stiffens. Walking becomes restricted, balance wavers, and the risk of falling skyrockets. For older adults, a single fall can change the course of life. Studies show that many never return to full mobility afterward. Restoring hip mobility is restoring life. Fluid, expressive, unrestricted hips keep the entire body young. They allow energy to flow, prevent stiffness from accumulating, and maintain the natural rhythm of movement that keeps the body agile. This is why so many ancient movement traditions, from martial arts to yoga to dance, place enormous importance on the hips. They are the gateway to longevity. The fifth movement is the invisible shield that protects everything else. It is not about lifting heavy weights or moving fast. It is about holding steadily, powerfully, intentionally. Isometric strength is the quiet force that keeps you stable when the world shifts, when the ground feels uneven, or when you trip unexpectedly. It is the difference between a stumble and a fall. The difference between a minor misstep and a life-changing injury. Core stability built through isometric training acts like an internal harness, keeping you grounded and unshakable. Studies show that strong isometric core strength drastically reduces the risk of falls, improves posture, supports the spine, and enhances overall body control. It is the foundation of all safe movement. When all 5 movements come together, hanging, squatting, rising, freeing the hips, and stabilizing the core, they transform the body from the inside out. They form a system that awakens dormant energy, restores natural function, and reverses the physical patterns that lead to decline. Not just for the young, not just for the athletic, for anyone willing to take back control of their body. Practicing these movements daily becomes more than a routine. It becomes a ritual, a way of honoring the body as the vessel that carries you through life, a way of reconnecting with the power you may have forgotten you had. These movements do not demand perfection. They demand presence, consistency, a willingness to take the first step and then the next. People who have embraced this system share similar stories. Stories of pain disappearing after years of suffering. Stories of mobility returning after doctors said it was impossible. Stories of confidence blooming where fear once lived. And most profound of all, stories of realizing that aging is not the slow loss of life, but the continuous rediscovery of it. You are not meant to fade. You are meant to evolve. You are meant to grow stronger in ways that matter most, not just in muscle, but in movement, in freedom, in connection between body and mind. These 5 movements are not just exercises. They are by the language through which the body speaks its deepest truth, that life is not slipping away. It is waiting to be reclaimed.